all these long ago.
As a father of 3 children, you don't ever have favorites, or at least say you have favorites, but as a songwriter and participant in a band, I can say that if these were all my children, Last Serenade would probably be my favorite, at least where I sit right now. It was especially fun writing that song. I get to do some things in there that I've always liked from other guitar players playing. There's a solo in that, so that's exciting for me to showcase that. And doing, it's another, like This City, it's another thing we did songwriting wise where I made a conscious decision to play single notes that are a counter melody to what Ben is playing and what Clink is singing. Sometimes it's harmony, sometimes it's a counter melody, and I get to do fun little parts in there, like there's a, look at all these photographs, and I do a little whistle like wee wee, and it says my head's spinning like a phonograph, and I get to do this circular lick that kind of like imitates like maybe something turning around and around. So whenever I get to misbehave and do something like that and get away with it, I always take advantage of the opportunity. And the pre-chorus of that is great. The chorus of that song is great. I think it's brilliantly written lyrically to elicit the right amount of nostalgia with, kind of bittersweet looking back on things, but also looking forward. And it's like a, let's give it one last round kind of song. I always gravitate towards that. Last Serenade Live is also one of my favorite songs to play live. I don't have to start it, which is always great. There's a that comes from like filling in with other bands, and for some reason other bands often let the new guy start the song, so you're like the terrible wart that presents itself first if you like mess up or whatever. But with that one, it's a lot of guitar feedback, and Ben starts it with Clink, so it's like awesome. I'm like, by the time I get to play, I'm like really into it, and it's fun just because it's a bouncing kind of counter melody thing, and I get to play with Ben live, like we're playing back and forth, even looking at each other, like almost borderline goofing off, and that's always fun. That's what it's what I've always taken away from. There's this band called the Stummies, and if everybody's ever gotten the blessing of being able to be a Stummie, it's the fun of the ensemble and the push and the pull of it that I've taken away from that particular experience, that I always try to inject into whatever I'm doing. Especially if there's more than one Stummie in a band, I will try to bait that out of the other person. So that one's so much fun live because there's so much little push and pull in that song, little melody things, and a solo that it's exciting to play live. And it's like exciting because a lot of times when I'm playing lead guitar or singing, I have the same feeling in my chest of like when you were in middle school and someone said they're going to kick your ass and they're going to meet you at the bike racks at 3 o'clock and you're not quite sure you're going to win. There's that like, oh my God, like feeling. And then when you bust through that and actually, I think that's like a lot of people that perform live are prone to that. You're either complete, like where you don't have that at all and you're a narcissist and you're like, look at me, or you're the other, or a mix of the two where you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. And the doing of it is the actual art of it, the coming out of the smoke. You know what I mean? You're like these NASCAR drivers spinning around, and the fact that you get through the smoke on the other side is sometimes the most rewarding part of like playing something live that you've written or are in an ensemble.